Hi guys, and welcome to episode 11 of the Gungeon. Of course, we are in the Gungeon again as always. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone for the likes and subscribes. If you can continue to do that, that would be great. And also, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving and you got your bellies full. So today we're going to talk about in this video, first I want to show you my nutcracker kind of Christmas little ornament that I have here, and during the whole month of December I'm going to be showing you different little props that I'm going to have up here for Christmas to show my Christmas spirit. So I'm going to move him for right now because I'm going to reveal what we're going to talk about today, and I'm sure everybody knows what this is. This is the Henry Golden Boy lever action chambered in 22 LR. It's got a walnut stock on it, as you can see. It's got an octagon barrel. It's got buckhorn rear sights that are adjustable. This gun I actually got from my father. He passed away in 2021, and this was one of the firearms I actually was inherited from him. He gave me, a few of them, and this was one of them. And I actually want to throw a little prop to Mad Dog Armory in Tampa. They did a nice little subscribing here for me to dedicate to my dad, and they did a little laser etching here for me, and it was a beautiful little thing. And like I said, props to Mad Dog Armory for taking care of that for me. But this firearm, guys, I don't fire this whatsoever. My father bought two of these, actually, one for his wife and one for him, and then he also bought the one that wasn't a Golden Boy because he's like the Western kind of stuff. And my dad was really into Clint Eastwood and all the Westerns that he did. And plus he watched some different, Westerns too. And now my father-in-law, he's into John Wayne. So he's into the old Western type of movies too. Every time you go to his house, he constantly has John Wayne on. And, he's into the revolvers. And, he's got a couple of them too that he's got what they call the John Wayne wall, where he's got all kinds of different stuff. But like I said, I don't fire this firearm whatsoever. It kind of stays up on my wall, and I kind of put little socks around it, as you can see here, because I want to protect it and keep it as pristine as it is. And a little about it, it's got an 11-inch, it's got an octagon barrel, as you can see. The barrel is about, I want to say, let me look to be sure. The length of the barrel is about 20 inches, but it looks like it was a little less than that when I kind of was measuring it and going through it. But it's a 20-inch barrel, and it holds 16 rounds of normal 22 LR or 21 rounds of short. So, you can do a couple different things with it, and it's a little bit heavy actually. It weighs right around close to almost 7 pounds, and I haven't really weighed it yet, but I tell you what, it almost weighs that. I was doing a little research on the firearm, and like I said, I'm no professional here at Firearms, but I do research on my firearms that I buy, and the firearms you see, are out of my personal collection, and this is one of them, like I said, that I have inherited by my dad, and I've got a few other ones in the case that I have over here, the glass case that I'd gotten from him too, and I also am going to bring out one, and maybe a video later on, and it's a Beretta Explode that I got from him. But my father was really into the Western, time frame, and he really enjoyed, the old repeaters, and he enjoyed the revolvers. Matter of fact, I got one of his revolvers too that are inside of my gun case cabinet there that you saw in video one. I kind of showed it to you. I didn't point out which one it actually was, but it's in there. Because I am a really big revolver fan. Don't get me wrong, guys. I like semi-automatics, but for some reason, I've always been a revolver fan. And a shotgun fan. I don't know why, but it's just two things I grew up on, and I really like them a lot. So, and I like the 30-30s and the 30-06s too. They're great hunting guns. So, but anyway, enough rant and raving about that. But this gun is so pristine, the way it was crafted, the way it was made, and looks like it's just taken so much time to make one of these, and they might be mass produced now, but just the beautifulness of this firearm is something that you don't see very often, and that's why I really I don't touch it much, and when I do touch it, I put gloves on actually to put it back on my rack on the wall over there because it's just so pristine, and I won't fire it whatsoever, you know, because it is a beautiful firearm, you know, and some people buy these and they do fire them, but me myself, I won't fire it. A little bit more about the gun here, and I'm going to look it up a little bit more. You know, like I said before, it's a walnut stock on it, and the buckhorn rear sights are adjustable, as you can see here. And the it's got like a beaded type of front sight up here, which, you know, is good too. And like I said, I'm not going to use it, so I really haven't fired it, so I really haven't looked through anything to see exactly how it fires and to look through the sights. But you know, the butt plate is brass, the receiver's all brass, you know, and it's just a brass barrel, and it's in blue, as you can see. Let me make sure here, and yeah, it's close to how much it does weigh. It's like 6.75 pounds, you know, and the overall length of it really is 38. It's a little 38 and a half inches long, and that's the overall length of it completely. And you know, but like I said, it's a lever action firearm, and you know, back in the day, that's what we used in the Old West. You know, you can't say enough about the Henry or Winchesters or anything like that. You know, they're great firearms. You know, there's a big, huge history behind them, so you really can't say enough about them. And you know, to get into the details of this firearm, you know, I don't really do anything with it to get into more detail on it. You know, like I said, this gun is pristine. It's never been fired whatsoever. It's always been put away and covered up. This is the first time actually that I've taken the socks all that I have on it, special socks that I have on it to make sure that it stays as pristine as it is. And you know, for all you gun guys, you know, a humidifier for your room, best thing you could do. You can put them in your safe, you can put them around, and it actually takes the moisture out of your room too. But as you saw in video 1, I also have a holster up there that, you know, my dad used to use his little revolver that he had inside of there too. Thought he was a cowboy, you know, strap it around his leg, just, you know, as a thing. He thought it was those cowboy that he used to play around with. But you can't say enough about the Henry, you know, and I really don't even like to put my hands on it. Like I said, I use gloves to do it because it's just such a pristine firearm. And since I inherited from him, it's kind of really sentimental and really personal. And you know, guys, I could turn around and I could break out a ton of firearms that I have that are powerful, that are, you know, that everybody would probably love to see. Like, you know, you saw in the past video with my son with his Tommy gun, you know, that we had done. And we do have the AK-47s and, you know, the big stuff too and the different things. But I'm more the type of person that a lot of the firearms I showed you, like the last one video I did on my wife's Taurus, firearms are not cheap anymore. And you can spend a ton of money on firearms. And, you know, this past weekend, they had some pretty decent sales at some of your big chain stores like Bass Pro Shops, and you know, had a few. Academy Sports had it. Rural King had a few things too, but they were mostly shotguns and the Savage Accesses, you know, the 308s, the 243s, but and a few pistols that they had, some automatics. But you know, you really don't see too many deals on, you know, firearms like this. You know, the lever actions, I don't see too many deals on them, or even a lot of my revolvers you really don't see. And when you do see a deal on them, they're kind of a little bit still up there in price, but not for the average everyday person who, like me, works 40 hours a week. So, you know, yeah, I buy firearms. I love firearms, you know, and you could probably see in this video right now, I bought myself a nice little Daisy BB gun that I had when I was a kid, and I bought it about a week ago for $5 actually, and the thing is in great shape and it shoots fine. But you know, I had one as a kid, and I'm such a big, huge firearm person that, you know, hell, I'll buy anything that interests me, you know. And every gun, like I said, you're going to see here is from my personal collection. I don't sell any of my personal collection whatsoever, you know. I buy and I buy and I buy, you know, and if it wasn't for my wife screaming and yelling at me all the time, I would probably shoot 5 or 6 a week, you know. But after that, I'd need a bigger house because I just wouldn't be able to fit them all in. Hell, I'm having a hard time right now as it is. And, I dabble in, like I had showed you in video one when you saw my room, I dabble in a little bit of everything, knives and, crossbows and, just about everything because I love weapons and, firearms and all kinds, like I said. But I just can't say enough about this Golden Boy. It's just a beautiful, beautiful firearm. It's made so well and it's so in detail that it's just unreal. And I think, as far as a firearm, I think everybody should have one. Get one in your collection. Put it up there. And I'm sure a lot of you people do have it, but guys, get it for yourself. Even if you want to buy not the Henry Golden Boy, but buy a lever action gun, buy one. They're actually fun to play with. I've shot other ones before. Like I said, not this one, but I've shot other ones before, and they're fun little plinking guns. They're great to go to the range with, and to do some outside shooting, and some people use them for some varmint hunting, but you know what? I don't use it for any of that. I half the times don't even shoot a lot of what I have in here. Probably out of all the firearms that I do have in here, I've probably only fired maybe 5 or 10 of them in here. Most of them still have tags on them, and I keep them pristine. And that's just me. I'm a big collector, and I like it. And I'm hoping to get further in it soon, and to be able to maybe do a little fixing of them too. I'm getting into the gunsmithing part now, where I can, start to take things apart and fix them and, put them back, because it's just the little detailedness of some of the firearms I love, and, the way they're made and everything. And it's really neat, and I think I spend a lot of my time, watching YouTube videos, and, I have the Shooter's Bible that I look at too, and research things. And it's just something that I really like to do. It's a passion, but, guys, this is a beautiful firearm. And you know what? It would make a wonderful gift for dad, for an uncle, hell, even for a brother. They're not too expensive. It just kind of depends if you can catch it at the right time. I think the MSRPs go anywhere from 4 something all the way up. I've seen them to 6 something. It just kind of depends, what exact model you have. There's a few different models that it does come in, but it's just overall a beautiful, beautiful firearm. And, you can't go wrong with it. And lever action firearms to me are just remind me of the old West, the old West. That's just what they fired then. Everything was just really cool, especially the quick action that they did with it, was pretty neat. Kind of like I used to watch The Rifleman on TV a little bit, because I thought it was really cool myself, and how he did things. But, guys, just there's one thing I do want to talk about too, and that I get a lot of people come up to me because as I'm wearing now this shirt here, I wear a lot of grunt style clothing, and a lot of shirts and a lot of clothing that people really don't, sometimes might be a little bit offensive, but I just like the clothing. I've got one shirt that, says, "My friend, you should have been swallowed." And, I've got a couple of other ones that I can fix stupid, but it's going to hurt, but people laugh at it and they like it. And it's funny because some of the ladies that see me when I'm in a store with my wife or something, they'll comment on my shirt because they think it's neat. But, getting back to this would be a great firearm to your collection, and if you can have the time to buy one, buy one. It's not all about, like I'd said before, about the big stuff. And, I have the big stuff, like I told you before recently, and sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I do have the big stuff. And like I'd said before, this is me. I'm an everyday guy. I don't plan what I'm going to talk about. I just talk. That's it, and I think I'm always going to be this way. But, the next video I think we're going to do, though, I'm going to try, hopefully, maybe to have my wife here to talk about something that she would like to talk about, too, that has to do with firearm relations, too. And, I try to do things and get guests here that have, something of a relation to do with a firearm or for a weapon, or, like I'd went over PTSD, or, of what's going on in our society today and how things are. But guys, I'm gonna try to show you more firearms, which I have tons, and I'm gonna try to show you affordable stuff, not the stuff that's gonna cost you, hey, don't get me wrong, get it, but not the stuff that's gonna cost you thousands of dollars to get. Because there are some, and I have some, and my son's got some, and we're avid gun people, but I'm going to try to show you as much affordable stuff as I can show you. That this is just collectibles, and this was inherited, and probably if it wasn't inherited, it probably wasn't really a gun that I would really buy. But since it was, and it was my dad's favorite, and like I said, he had 2 of them. It's kind of sentimental to me, and like the rest of them I got from him. But there is something I want to say quickly, and I meant to say it a few minutes ago, that I have a lot of people who come up to me, and a lot of guys that I work with, and they might have a relative pass away or a dad pass away, and it seems like they want to get rid of their firearms. And getting rid of a firearm that your dad handed down to you, or your grandfather or something to that nature, I just can't do it. I can't do it, nor I wouldn't do it. And I had told my boys that if I was to ever pass, please don't get rid of certain ones, because they meant a lot to me, and this is one of them that I told my boys that I don't want them to get rid of. And I think that if your dad hands you down something, or mom or anything like that, I think you should kind of keep it. It's sentimental. You're not going to be able to have that again, and it's more, it's a little thought about them. So you really just don't want to get rid of them. But yet you got people who don't like firearms, and I come in contact with them all the time, and I've bought firearms from people like that, and I really try to talk them out of it, but they kind of say no, they just don't want it, or they don't care for it, or they have nobody that wants it. So unfortunately, I end up buying it and taking it myself. And a lot of times I don't even fire those. I kind of just put them away and, put them in my other cabinet over here, or put them in one of my little gun bags that I have. Because boy, do I have a ton inside of that cabinet there. And, but, guys, like I said, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed this video here about this beautiful firearm that I have. And you know what? Get one. Get one for your collection. Don't shoot it. Just put it up on a wall. Put it in your gun room. Put it in your safe if you want to put it in there. But it's cool to have one of them, so go ahead and get yourself one. Anyway, guys, that's all I'd like to talk about today. Thanks for liking, subscribing, if you can continue that. And you know what? Throw some comments in there. I have been getting some comments lately, and I've been answering those comments as best I can. And if I don't answer you right away, just give me at least 24 to 48 hours, because like I said, I do work, and I do these videos mostly in the evening when I'm at home. And it's one of these things where I come home and I walk in, and it's not scripted. I just do it. That's it. I do it. I'm just a person that just does it. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to everyone. I enjoy maybe educating you on them. And like I said, I'm not a professional. There's professionals on YouTube every 5 minutes that talk about firearms, and you got great guys out there. Classic Firearms, Clint, you got Hickok 45, just to name a few, and I keep naming them guys because they do wonderful videos, and you can't go wrong, looking and checking, and it's like I tell everybody, don't buy a firearm just because you think it's cool. Well, that's what I do, but don't buy it because you think it's cool. Buy it first because you need it, not because it's just cool. Get the necessary firearms first to protect your family and friends. Later on, buy the fun stuff, once you get established with what you need. Anyway, guys, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be many more to come. Like I said, comment on it. From the Gungeon. Peace out.